Neil Francis touches on the final rugby piece. The Cipriani head-high tackle yesterday at Thomond Park. Tough on Cipriani, but head-high tackle policy has to be enforced, is his point. He essentially makes the argument that World Rugby may actually buck the trend, in that every organisation everywhere talks about putting player welfare at the forefront and then often doesn't do it. So he's talking about how this is going to be frustrating in the short term, where Cipriani's shoulder went into the head of Rory Scannell. He didn't hit him the way Kino did last week. He almost tried to avoid the tackle, but still he got his red card. It pretty much ruined the game. And Frano says, it may be frustrating in the short term, but I think we'll get there. Most concussions come in the tackle, and the majority of these concussions come from head-eye tackles and head-to-head contact.
Sorry, Joe, just an important... He also says why they've done it, why World Rugby are doing it.
3 words: CTE, class action.
There you go.
Yeah, is his point.
Yeah, so the Frano, as usual, starts his piece with a lovely hooker. That's just a phrase to get you started, about never seeing a statue erected in commemoration of a committee. But on this occasion, it seems that the Committee for World Rugby have got it right. But he goes into the point that yes, Cipriani was sent off, but they could have easily have lost a second player for another head-high tackle, and if Cipriani wasn't off, that player would have went off as well. So they are changing it. Yeah,
12 trees should have walked, but then he says the game would have descended into a farce, and the Gloucester Centre only got the sanction of a penalty. Consistency is always the first casualty of the zero tolerance policy. Yeah,
and he's absolutely right. And for fans of Gloucester, when you see that happen to a team that you've invested in coming across to Limerick for what you hope would be a great game of rugby, and it's all over at that stage, it's just it's heartbreaking, and you'd feel hard done by doing that, and that the referee doesn't have a leniency about him, that he'd say, well, he didn't really mean it, I'm going to leave him on. But the referees have obviously been told that you've got to come down harshly on this, and if they don't, well, then it's never going to stop, and there has to be zero tolerance. And Frano's right, if it was followed to the latter, they should have lost a second player, and I'm sure the Munster supporters wouldn't have minded that either.
Cipriani's reaction was great, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
Because I'm sure he was thinking, come on.
Really fantastic. And it's been an interesting weekend for that, because I get irritated, and have been irritated quite a lot over the last year with rugby, and they keep pushing their values on us. And I look at, the drugs issue, the painkillers, the abuse of painkillers, the Grobber situation, and I'm wondering where the values are with important issues like that. I take my hat off to a lot of other areas in the game, and in the way the players conduct themselves, and we had a lot of examples of that, a number of examples of that this weekend, with Cipriani, who was superb in the way that he didn't argue with the ref, didn't plead with the ref. He looked across at who was the player?
Scannell.
Yeah, Scannell. Asked him, was he okay? Walked off. I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.